players' hairstyles in game before 2K. Like I was like 8 years ahead of 2K. I don't want to say I was ahead of them, but I think this might have inspired them to add that ability to the game.
Drop the bravado, you're not looking macho. I promise when I go psycho, they think I'm Randy Camacho. I'm savage, trying to put together what I can.
A golden age is a period of time during which a very high level of achievement is reached in a particular field of activity, especially in art or literature. I was browsing through some old screenshots when I realized I'm really an old head when it comes to this modding stuff. I was the first person to ever make a full out NBA 2K high school mod on PC and release it to the community. Now maybe somebody made one before me, but nobody ever released one. I can't remember if I first made one back in 2K13 or 2K14, but I think 2K14, well, I know for sure 2K14 is when I made a huge fictional roster that included like some legendary high school players that went on to be in the NBA. I included their teams as classic teams, and their teams weren't 100% accurate. But just looking at these pictures and images, it just got me to thinking like, man, I really released an entire demo. Let me see if I can show you guys the demo. The demo was on a website called Modding Way. I guess they stopped supporting 2K mods after 2K21. I remember I have to get into those stories another time. Never mind. Anyway, so I had an entire demo. Basically, when you downloaded this save file, you would boot it up. You would have to have all the mod files, of course, but this came with everything. You boot it up, you would start in the third quarter. So let's read this. High school demo, Sniper Jones. So this was the player you were focusing on. You were going to be on this team. It said, experience the McDonald's All-American game as you play as the West team. It's the third quarter, and you are down a few points. Sniper Jones leads your squad with 8 points. How will you take over? So far, he had 8 points. And basically, this was Kevin Durant's ratings on a fictional player. But this was an entire demo, and I released it. Let me see if I can. I know I was looking on Google for this. Like if you type in 2K14 high school demo TGsoGood, or you can even take off the word demo. You just type TGsoGood 2K14 high school. Like especially if you go to images, you'll see tons of images. Actually, yeah, you'll see tons of images. Now, people have gotten way better at creating arenas and stuff now, but that sucks. So maybe I guess we will have to come here. I mean, look at this, man. Look what I was doing back in 2K14. I had a high school ranking spreadsheet. It included the player's GPA. I wish I could have turned this stuff into real tools, but anyway, you put the player's stats in there. It'll tell you how many stars he is, all city, all state, all American, academic scholarships, 2 scholarship offers, 25. Like, man, dude, and it was max preps. Like I was just going. Here we go. Here's the picture. Like I had my own interface. I was going crazy. These are other people adding to the mod. Let me go to page 5 just for fun. Like look how old this stuff is, man. Like come on, man. That was Nerlens Noel in high school. Like, oh man, I was killing it with the gyms though. I was making all kind of custom gyms back then. Whatever I could get my hands on. But anyway, this 2K14 was that was just an underrated era. Man, I've got so much stuff. You know what? I don't want to bore you guys with just looking back, like with just looking back at the high school stuff, there was more stuff that I had back then. Oh, not this. Here it is. So, me myself, I was the first person to implement this. I called it facial progression back then. You could change the hairstyles on a player. Now, let's look at this. This is August 3rd, 2014. So, maybe I should make a whole video about that. But yeah, I had it to where you could change the players' hairstyles in game. That's a link to it. Players' hairstyles in game before 2K. Like I was like 8 years ahead of 2K. I don't want to say I was ahead of them, but I think this might have inspired them to add that ability to the game. But this was, I mean, I was doing this stuff all the way back in 2014. You just download one file and the player will have different haircuts. Nobody's really implemented that. Nobody else. I don't know how many people figured it out. Let's click on one. Let's try Carmelo Anthony, because with him I just did the beard. I just made his beard grow. I should have gave him the braids, but it was gonna be too much work. So anyway, let's click on Carmelo. Let's go to his download. Let's see, does it tell me how many downloads I got? It did get 732 downloads, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 732 downloads overall. Back then, pretty good. Like this guy, see, clean cut, grows his hair out, grows his beard out. So, yeah. I mean, it's other stuff I had discovered, but man, this really was the golden age, at least for me. But the thing that I hated was the graphics of this game, man. I just hated how the game looked. I really hated how this game looked, especially default. Oh man, this gym, I made this gym. This gym was fire. I should remake this. But anyway, nah, I'm not going to. I won't say I'm lazy, but it's just too much stuff. Like I see guys make mods now, especially even in 2K14, they still make pretty good mods. But even when you go outside of 2K14, this was just a golden age, man. Look at the pictures I was putting together, man. I had it to where you could have, with the high school roster, I had some cyber faces, they would have a young version of the face. And then if you wanted to like take them to college, they'd have a matured version. Usually it just meant they grew facial hair. Here's another one put together. I don't know, man. I used to stay up all day and night trying to create stuff. But, nah, man. This is reminiscent. I'm reminiscing because 2K25, the new gen, is coming out. I'm just reminiscing. But anyway, if you guys go look up some of this stuff on YouTube, like I have some super crazy courts. Hold on. Let me see. I don't want to watch that ad. All right, so look at this. I had a baseball field basketball court. I don't know what I was doing with this one. This was fun times, man. Just reminiscing. I've created so many mods, man, that it's too many. It's too many to recall. And then there's some of them I never released and I forgot to release. Like I would spend so many hours making these. This is before I had a YouTube. Like I made the most mods before I even had a YouTube. But anyway, this was the golden age. Just giving you guys a little bit of background about, the mods I've created over the years. Contributions to the game, stuff like that. I definitely, player DNA and the hair stuff, I'm going to take credit for that. Now, people might have had the idea, but I actually implemented it. I actually did it. Like, now, player DNA was in the game, in old 2K games, then they took it out. And so then I started showing, I can show you guys, let me see. I think it was around 2K18